Welcome back to another episode of the Expansion Podcast. I'm so happy you're here. Come on into this room. I am so excited to talk about this today because it's been part of my journey in a massive way. And I know that there are so many other women out there who are empathic, have highly sensitive antennas to the energy around them, to just going through life differently, through moving through the experience of being on this planet a lot differently from those around them. And I need you to hear all the words inside of this podcast today, because this came beaming into me, just dropped so hard into me that I woke up, I think around, it was 6:30 a.m. this morning, with such a profound message around this for empaths, for women who are highly sensitive to energy, for women who are highly sensitive people who are just operating differently. And here we go. Welcome. If you're new here, I am your host, Natalie Karen. I am a CEO. I have an online business called Natalie Karen, and I help women dissolve energy blockages. I help them with their spiritual development. I educate them. I teach, I nurture, I grow. I help them develop their energetic gifts, their psychic abilities, their mediumship skills. And I do it all the way from the A to Z transformation, from just walking into this world around your awakening journey, all the way to mastering your energy field, your gifts, and you, and reconnecting all parts of you so that you can find your life's purpose, live it, express it, and ultimately find freedom. And I have everything tagged in the show notes if you want to connect further, and parts of what I'm going to be talking about today. So let's dive in, shall we? Welcome. Okay, so I'm going to start with the message that was loud and clear in my ears this morning, and it was that you are not broken. You don't need to be fixed. You don't need to keep fixing yourself. You don't need to be sitting inside rooms with different therapies or talk therapy, constantly going over how to fix yourself, how to do better, how to move past emotionally stored things that hold you back, cloud your vision, cloud your truth. You're not broken. There's nothing that needs to be fixed. You just need to reconnect back to all these parts of yourself that you felt at some point in this lifetime or another, in this dimension or another, which all intersect, that you had to hide or protect or shield or keep at bay to not feel rejection, to feel that you are loved and are lovable. If you ever had to feel like you had to close off this beautiful, important part of yourself in order to belong, I am telling you right now that you need that part of you more than anything else in this world, so that it's a necessary stepping stone so that you can start showing up in your every single day as a fulfilled, free to express this part of yourself, connected in your purpose, and with such immense clarity. So you can start making the life that you desire, hitting the goals that you have in your heart, in your mind. If you have big dreams like me, to start taking the necessary actions to get there, but also being in softness and in flow and being so connected to your intuition that it's as easy as living and breathing. And so you know how to utilize your empathic abilities, which are abilities, which is a gift. Okay. I know a lot of us say, oh my gosh, being an empath is like a blessing and a curse. Well, we're going to say goodbye to that lingo and that wiring. We're going to change it to being an empath is a blessing. Okay. So I understand that. I want to break down a little bit of, I understand so much this personal journey of locking yourself away, locking a part of yourself away, being called too much, too dramatic, too emotional, too sensitive, too crazy, too this, too that, to anything that we just are totally and wildly misunderstood from the time that we're born to all the way to adulthood until we actually find ourselves again. And then sometimes we get so lost along the way that we need to find greater support outside of the traditional systems that are in place to help nourish and help us reconnect to this part of ourselves and understand that this is an ability. This is a energetic ability. This is a psychic ability. This is a mediumship skill that needs to be honed in, that needs to be dialed in. You need to be taught how to use it. You need to be taught how to protect yourself in the midst of everything so that you can start moving into life, going into the world without having social anxiety about, oh my gosh, if I go to that dinner, then, I'm going to like be so tired and be so drained because I just picked up on so much. Because you, by now, if you're listening to this and you were pulled into my world, you definitely know that, and you have had these thoughts that, okay, I do pick up on energy. I am highly sensitive to energy. I know that. I just don't know what to do about it. And I don't know what the resources are to really master this ability and really master myself in a way that I'm not scared of myself anymore. I'm not scared of this version of me, this part of me that feels too big, too daunting, that has also been wired in your brain subconsciously that it is too big and too much and too crazy. And we can't handle that part of it. You were built to be connected to this massive part of yourself. And this is what I teach my clients to do. It is a massive part of their journey and our journey together. Because without having all of you understood, integrated, embodied, connected, and mastered by you, then you always feel like 1 foot out, 1 foot in. You always feel like there's a piece missing. You always feel like something's missing. You always feel like, oh, I just don't feel like I'm, living fulfilled in my fulfillment or in my purpose or in my destiny. I just feel like there's so much more that I need to unlock within me, that I need to understand. I feel like something's missing. That energy will go away. It will naturally start to just boop, 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 drip, drip away, fade away. Because when you start to understand, when you start to educate yourself and have the proper tools in place to know how to master your abilities and your empathic, energetic wiring, energetic patterning, what you're wired to do, you will know how to use it. You will know how to protect it. You will know how to do energetic hygiene that can help solidify it and nurture it and support yourself in a way that is not physical. It's not brushing our teeth. It's not doing our hair. It's not going to bed. It's working with unseen energy that is seen, unseen, and felt. It's energy that is not seen. I mean, some of us can see energy, but it is felt. We either feel really tired, we feel really drained, and it can seriously impact our mental health, especially if we are tethered to certain exchanges in our lives, usually through relationships, through job exchanges, through exchanges even within ourselves, words and conversations that we have with ourselves that are connected to people or other dimensions or realms that are not in alignment with our inner light. Perhaps in alignment with other realms that are a little bit more heavier, denser, darker in energy. If you want to learn more about those realms and everything that encompasses, I highly recommend you venturing into the link below in my show notes about my Psychic Abilities University. That is, if you're listening to this in February 2025, is going to launch very soon. And if you're listening to it after it is launched, and take a look into it if you really want to dive deep into spiritual development and master your own abilities in every way. But when we are able to understand our gifts in the ways that they were always meant to be understood from a spiritual, energetic perspective, then everything clicks together. There is clarity, it clicks, it makes sense. And the experience of your life, especially, oh my goodness, especially if you're putting yourself into spaces or rooms, whether they're online or physical, with people that are also aware and strengthening and connected to their gifts, or learning how to master their gifts, or even just talking about this conversation, everything about your experience feels normal, because I know that you have spent a good amount of time in your thoughts, whether they're conscious or subconscious, feeling like you're quote unquote not normal, or I'm doing air quotes when I do that, or you are different, or maybe you have tried to fit into spaces, into relationships, into systems on how our world works that you just don't fit into. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how you change yourself, or parts that you have rejected, or parts that you have hid, and other masks that you've had to put on in order to fit in. Eventually they don't work. You have to take them off, because there's a part of you that feels like you're starving, like you're so thirsty for something, right? We don't know what that is. In the moment, we don't know what that is. To have your thirst quenched, to have yourself nourished with you, just more of you, just to be in places and around people and around the energy of acceptance of your abilities, being an empath, and how life and your daily routines, how you live your life, will look different, needs to be different, because you're different, you're wired different, and you have profound gifts that once you master them, life becomes less of a feeling like you're one of those wacky inflatable tube guys, flailing in the wind, and whatever, you're at mercy of whatever the wind is doing that day. That's how you got to flow. No, that stops. And you actually become a force, a fortified steel of energy that is the conductor of your life. It's conducting the energy. And everything that happens and everything that you come across, you have an understanding of, okay, this is what I need to do to balance this out. This is my energetic hygiene. This is what I need to do for this practice. This is the practice I need to do to help balance this out. Okay, this is probably where this came from. That's not my energy. Okay, so now if I know that it's not my energy, what do I do to help remedy that? Okay, I need to know to do this. It's a toolkit. We need the education and we need the toolkit. You're not alone, okay? You are not alone in any way. There are thousands of women and people out there who have these abilities too. Okay, we each have our own unique signature flavor, expression of it, how it comes to us. But there are thousands of other women out there who are thinking and feeling the same things. And we just need to be around them, because then our lives feel normalized. The experience of being an empath or having abilities or being a medium becomes normalized. And no more do we need to be feeling like we're standing outside looking in to a world that we don't understand, that we feel, I mean, I've had thoughts like this where we feel like, oh my gosh, everything just feels so backwards. Everything just, like, if this was in place and that was in place, this is your intuitive knowing and your gifts, right? Coming through. And there's no more of you standing outside of a window, paying, looking in. You're immersed into places and spaces and around people where you feel alive. You feel all of you. You feel in your purpose. You feel inspired. They energetically match you. Their frequencies align with you, and everything starts to be easier. And I was going to say, and I'm still going to say, you can almost take a deep breath. And let's not even get into right now how amazing it is to be in your full power. Okay? Because I cannot tell you, I'm going to say, no, it's like a 99.9% of all the women that I have seen, that I've worked with, they are more afraid. They know that they're energetically sensitive. They know that they're different. They immerse themselves into places. They get into conversations with me, into my one-on-one coaching and my program, and they all say that They are more afraid of their full power and potential, which means unlocking this version of themselves, their full abilities, full throttle, than they are of just staying small, staying in a box, staying over here, disconnected, because we are often more afraid of our power, our full power and our potency than we are of staying comfortable or staying small or staying, disconnected from our purpose. And if you're hearing these words right now, I want you to know that it's safe to reconnect with these parts of yourself. It's safe now. It's safe. Just keep telling yourself, it is safe for me to be all of me. It is safe for me to own all of me. It is safe for me to be seen with all of me. It is safe for me to be in my purpose, to express my purpose, to live my purpose, the way that I see in my heart, the way that I know is possible. Because if you're seeing it, and if you know it, and you see it when you close your eyes at night or in the day, then there is some version of you on some timeline out there living that. And it is possible. And every part of you is reaching for that. And you just need to close the gap with some action steps, with some education, with some knowledge, with being around people who are also doing this. And it all just starts to flow effortlessly. And the reconnection happens. And then you start to master your gifts and yourself and your energetic journey, your spiritual journey. And the clarity sets in. And it's like, oh, there's the horizon. I know what to do. I know how to live my purpose. I know where I want to be. I know who I want to be with. I know what rooms I want to be on. I know where I want to dial this in and focus this. And it all becomes clear. And I hope that this resonates. And I hope that this helps and supports you in the ways that it needs to. You're not alone. I have this need to just keep saying that you are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. You're not alone. Head on over to my show notes if you want to connect more, or be in spaces with other people who are doing this too. And I hope to see you there. I'm so happy you're here and receiving these words on this day, whenever you do, at this moment in your life. My intentions are that it's received exactly the moment you need to hear it. Alrighty, I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for being here.